Ladies and gentlemen, you remember this truck? Poof! It didn't change, did it? My magic isn't working today. Anyway, you might have recognized it from an earlier scene when it was white and the guys from Liquid Springs came and helped us put on this entire suspension. This is the heavy rescue truck. And yes, it is almost time to get it on the road. We've got it down, had down to the frame, painted the frame, got this new awesome wrap on it, check it out. Heavy rescue. That way the entire fleet of heavy rescue machines looks the same. We look professional, and they're out there just tearing it up. Just making awesome YouTube videos for the HeavyD's Sparks page. You should probably check that out if you haven't already. And you know what? Having adventures. That wrap right there screams, I like to party. And me, I like to party, right? You like to party? Up top. Yeah. But the liquid spring system's ready to go, and now we just have to put the bed on. The bed is gonna be the coolest part. Come with me. While you're walking out here, can you tell me where the heck the battery is on this Ranger? Probably like under the bed.
How do you get the bed up?
Manual one, I think. Maybe electric. This is the extreme duty. That is electric one.
So how do you get the
batteries
one
are
up
dead?
when the battery's dead?
We could probably do a whole new episode on will the bed go up? You know?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. Got our hands on one of those new extreme duty Rangers. They got the electric lifting bed on the back, which is awesome. But somehow our battery is dead. Probably because our guys like to leave the keys on. Not pointing fingers, but it's probably me. I like to leave the music on. But enough of the Ranger. Let's talk about dun, 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 Chris! Yeah! All signs are pointing to Chris is Batman. If you think Chris is the real Batman, put it in the comments below. Now take a look at this beautiful bed. Like I said, painted. Chris is buttoning up all the pieces on the crane, on everything else, to make sure that everything works. And then we're gonna get a bed liner down the middle. And then my favorite part, guess how many winches are gonna be on this bed? Go ahead, guess. 1? No. 2? No, more. 5. 5 winches. I'm talking one on the corner, one on that corner, one on the back, one on the front of the truck, so not on the bed. Okay, back to 4 on the bed. Anyway, 5 total on the truck, including the crane, which means we'll be able to park anywhere for recovery and have access to a winch on every side of the vehicle. I don't know why we stopped at only 5. I would have done a baker's dozen myself. Or my new idea is to create a on your entire slide, and you can put it. I patent the idea, so if you build that, you owe me royalties. But the bed is probably going to be done and put on the other truck. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little magic. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to go poof, and we're going to cut right to the truck finished. So you can feast your eyes on the most beautiful heavy recovery truck the world has ever seen, and prepare yourself for some adventures. Let's go.
See you, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Not a problem. Have a wonderful day.
Okay guys, we're gonna take a brief pause for today's sponsor. Thank you Delete Me for sponsoring this video. Guys, if you don't know what Delete Me is, it's an online website that goes through and deletes your personal information from the internet. But what happens is data brokers are huge corporations, and they go out there and they collect all your personal information that they can find. Then they sell this information online. I can go and figure out any of you what's going on in your life right now just because these data brokers. So I personally used Delete Me. When I hopped on here the very first time, I found out that there's a total of 60 data brokers. 48 of those data brokers have my personal information, and there's over 769 listings that were reviewed with all my information on there. That's including family members. That's including a lot of very personal information. I click on my report that they created for me, and I can go through and see every single one of these data brokers and see what information they have. Another cool fact is it's showing me which ones are already in the process of being removed. So guys, be sure to click the link below, joindeleteme.com/sparks20. That'll get you 20% off your very first report that lasts you an entire year, and they'll go through and take care of deleting all your information from all these data brokers. Thanks again for the sponsorship, and let's get back to the video. I don't know anything about
You
it.
know anything about it?
I don't know a thing. All I know is one day Hans was getting real itchy and organizing stuff, and he pulled this bike out of one of our Connexes, and he's like, we're building this for Heavy D. And I'm like, right now? Okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden Shaan appeared, and Papa Sparks, he takes care of all the companies and stuff like that, and so we're all grateful we have a John and we get to work with him. Very rarely is there anything going back to him that's worth any value. So having this completed, I think Sparks will really enjoy that. Now, how fast do you think this thing's gonna go at that point?
Oh, dude, I have no idea.
I just need to know if he has the insurance policy on it and what life insurance policies I should take out on him.
So what I've read about these Trask turbos, it's supposed to add 50, I think, rear wheel horsepower.
Okay.
Which is substantial. I mean,
Oh yeah. Can you get me a new battery for this Heavy D bike?
It's for a 2012 Harley Dyna.
2012 Harley Dyna.
103.
Okay, Shaan.
Handled?
You need a handle?
No, I said, you got that handled?
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure you'll need handlebars at some point.
Yeah, I got it.
Now, oh my gosh.
It's a solid piece of forged aluminum by RC Components with 21-inch front. Metzel, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Metzeler, I believe it is. I'm gonna get killed for how I'm mispronouncing that. But yeah, these wheels are absolutely unbelievable.
I know we were going back and forth in text messages and whatnot, and in the end, we were just like, it's gonna look awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, this looks awesome.
The only criteria I got was fat spoke with black. And that was not a whole lot to go off of. I'm of the opinion that a spoked hub, a laced hub, is not safe on a turbo machine.
Okay.
Something super high horsepower. Same thing with cast.
Yeah.
So we went with forged aluminum.
Awesome.
So this is just a chunk of aluminum that is then CNC'd to look like this.
Yeah, you've got a lot more strength in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's anodized. So these are not powder coated, these are anodized.
Oh, I love that process.
So, well, we got the matching hub, nice brake rotors to match as well. So these things should look pretty sweet.
By the end of today, these will be on there.
Yep.
We'll be off this cart.
Yep.
So that you can continue on with all the other stuff. But
yeah.
So we got suspension, the wheels, tires, and get off the cart today.
Yeah, if all that goes really smoothly, then I can have the motor back together. I would really like to start this thing today without the turbo.
Okay.
To make sure everything still works.
Yeah.
Factory.
Today?
Today, before, and then spend a whole nother day doing the turbo. Because again, all the turbo components all came in pieces too, so.
All right.
It'd be amazing if we could get this thing running today, but we'll see. There's a lot of parts to piece together.
Wow.
Power on. Ooh, that clicked.
That was a good click.
That was a good click. It hasn't done that before. Ha ha! Success!
Just tap it in. Tap it in. Don't be shy.
Cool.
Now I feel like you're just playing with it.
See, that's the beautiful thing about, it looks like you're playing with it, but these guys are gonna go out in the middle of nowhere. So if you think I'm playing with it, they're definitely gonna play with it. So if you don't check all the functionality before they go out there and it's not working correctly, you might get some aggravated grown men. And I'm not trying to be on that receiving end.
We're still talking about the crane, right?
We are still talking about the crane, but we talk about a lot of things, but we are talking about the beautiful crane.
Sweet.
Before I can put the front shocks on, I need to get the shock clamps, triple trees, put on. And there's a sequence for all of the spacers and washers. Since I didn't take it apart and I don't work on this bike every day of my life, I just need a reference. So I'm looking at a microfiche here online to verify the order in which those go. And that's not the right spot. So what we have on right now is I've got all the pieces for the steering cap. I'm sorry, for the triple clamps. And I'm just getting the steering adjusted so it's not too loose. You don't want that thing to be like super duper loose. So this is a little steering adjuster nut to put a little bit more tension on those bearings. And I'm sure there's a special tool for this that probably costs $300, but channel locks for the win. So I'm not gonna torque these down yet. I'm just gonna put them in to hold them in place. And then we'll adjust the ride height later. Hopefully I got these on the right side. For anybody watching this, don't worry. I'm not using this to torque down the fork tube.
Oh, it had to be me.
What's your favorite karaoke song?
My favorite karaoke song would be Toby Keith, Red, White, and Blue.
How does that go?
American girls and American guys will always stand up and salute, will always recognize.
Recognize.
You know, if you don't know the song, you probably not but so American, but you know, it's one of those things that you get me in the mood. I start getting patriotic and I'm like, yee! So if we come in from the side and then try to place it on the side, and you have the forks that you still have to get out of and so on and so forth, there is tow hooks in the bed that are strong enough to lift said bed, but my forks aren't long enough to go all the way to where the cab part would be, which would be the most stability that we would have to get on to the bed. Because if we could lift it up this way, then I can just pull out, go into bay 3, and set her down nice and level where she needs to be. But we have a conundrum.
This is just going to be a test fit. Because there's multiple spacers for either side of this wheel. And run those wires right through that hole, if you don't mind. Let's just go with that's good for now. Starting to look like a bike.
Yeah, coming together. There's some lights right there. There's some handlebars.
Yeah, just crap hanging everywhere. This is the fun part when you start to see like it's like when you're doing a puzzle and you start to see the picture of it come together.
And then sure enough, at the end, there's like 3 extra pieces.
You know what? I'd rather have no piece, like missing pieces, than extra pieces, especially bolts that look like they're supposed to go in the motor.
Especially for the puzzle that's going 80 miles an hour down the road.
Yeah, exactly. These are just going to get temporarily mounted. It's kind of like doing, because I know you guys do a ton of fabrication.
Yeah.
It's like doing fab work. You kind of mock it up, get it in place, make sure it all assembles, and then take it apart and do the finishing touches, you know. The wheel has to be perfectly spaced between the between the front fork tubes, and there's piles of spacers that were taken off of this to space the wheel hub on either side, but none of them were marked and they weren't put on the axles when they were taken off. So I had to take some measurements of the space that exists between there once it's centered up. So what I did is I used the brake caliper here to position the wheel centered, and now I can fit the spacers in there.
Skeeter, so why is this so tough to lift right now?
It's off balance. So we just gotta strap it and make sure whatever straps we have don't allow it to twist because it's off balance. There used to be a big welder over here and a bunch of hoses and stuff, so it was pretty equal. Once we took that off, it's just like...
I got you a small one.
Oh, Skeet's in there?
Oh yeah.
Skeeter's still in my style today too. He's got his shorts and boots on.
Shorts and boots.
Smart guy. He's seeing the benefits of the airflow now.
I think Skeeter just fired Batman.
You can't fire Batman.
So you think what's right here isn't sufficient?
This will work, but I'm gonna put a couple ratchet straps over too to stop it from twisting, to stop it from being able to twist, you know. I can actually use a couple of these little ones to stop it from twisting once I get the two big ones. I might put a couple little ones too. We have to do it in a certain series of events. So we have to come up with this, but not too much. And then I'll tighten this, and this can take weight. As long as we stop it from doing this, I think we're gonna be okay. This one.
Only one way to find out.
Well, I think does everyone think does it seem like it's good?
I mean, that's...
As long as we stop it from doing this, I think we're gonna be okay.
Slide out right there. That would show you one way of not.
Slow, you might kind of have to swing it. As you come down, you might have to kind of swing that way.
There's a lot of different ways to do it. The weight of this crane is so heavy on this back right corner, it's kind of hard to find a place to strap to without scratching the paint to hook to the boom of your teleham. Listen, I trust Skeeter and Batman. They're gonna be able to do this. No problem. No problemos.
You see, is there holes? Right, this right there, is there another one?
I have to say, this is probably the most stressful day I've had here.
No, it's not, but this is not a big deal, you guys. It's just a little thing. We just don't want to scratch it. Like I said, if I could hook it on the side
How
of
many pairs of gloves would you say you go through?
Dude, I go through so many gloves. When I first started working on this kind of stuff, my boss would give me so much crap because I'd come talk to a customer about what I did to fix the machine. My hands would just be covered in grease, and he got after me enough about it. He's like, "Listen, if this was your machine, would you want somebody with your dirty hands working on it?" I'm like, "Probably not."
Just all over it, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of like just stuck in my head. What do you think?
That looks great.
Doesn't that look good? Oops.
I love that. What do we got? What do we miss? Yeah, I guess that.
No big deal.
He doesn't
right?
need brakes. He's never braked on anything else in his life, so.
Here we go. The bummer about all this is it's just, you're good now, is that it's all just temporary. I'm gonna have to do all this all over again later.
Yeah?
Yeah, down a little bit.
Okay.
There's these blocks that sit inside of the swing arm. These bolts are connected to, and as I pull these bolts, tighten these bolts on either side, it slowly pulls the wheel back, but you have to do it evenly so that it doesn't set the rear sprocket cockeyed with the belt. There's no way that sits on the inside. Oh, duh. What am I thinking?
Okay, I'll go get two more.
For as
not
far
screw it up.
as bad went, it went pretty good. As far as bad goes.
Okay, come down, Chris.
Well, I'm trying to get it to start.
Just don't tip over.
Parking brake engaged.
It's a fingerprint ignition. It only recognizes his fingerprint.
I believe it. I believe it.
You have to sit there and hold the key for like.
That was instant actually that time. I don't know why. So usually you do.
Brakes and everything are on, the wheels are on, spacers are in. So now we can lift the bike off of the stand here. And then once that's on the ground, I'll start putting the engine together. So what that'll entail is reassembling the head, of both heads I should say, putting the valves in, which I've already lapped, meaning I've created a nice sealing surface for the valves in each of the cylinders, or cylinder heads. I need to gap the rings, which I'll walk you guys through when I do that process, and then install the pistons onto the crank rods or crankshaft and connecting rods, slide the cylinders on, put the head on, bolt it down, good to go.
In a perfect world, I would have loved to have set it back down and got it flat. That's kind of why I was in there saying, Skeeter, I want to get it perfectly level before we bring it out. But as I got out and walked around, I didn't see that happening. It was too tight of quarters, and things could have got a lot worse before they got better. And so we risked it, we pulled it out straight, and we got to set it on this trailer, all back flat, so we can restart and get it rigged right. And you know what? Sometimes you just gotta listen to Skeeter because he's a little bit smarter than you know?